Hey you guys, this is Vlad, and I'm going to be talking about how my individual learning blog has developed throughout the semester so far. And I'm just going to start off basically where class started, and that's the very beginning here. Like, we have this syllabus response, and what I kind of noticed is that most of these posts, I mean, as you can tell, they're not even a paragraph. They're so short. They're like pretty much minimal responses. And it's not even because I couldn't analyze these topics or whatever. It was just like introduction to using this blog and just learning all these little tools and like learning to put a picture in right here. And like right here it even says learning the flow, and then learning how to use comments, and like learning how to even access this blog and attaching files. And here's my first little analysis, this sort of like an introduction to digital literacy, something that we went into a lot more depth later on. And Bloggerize is just like me becoming familiar with this program. And it's not until September when we actually start getting in depth with our blogs. As you could tell, like, my blog isn't correctly sized, which just shows you that I'm still learning these tools. Like, if I scroll down here, the reason behind this is when I posted up my first picture, that's not just a file, like the actual picture, I I clearly sized it wrong, and it's just showing my development, and it's not like a embarrassing mistake. It's just showing that I'm learning, and from that point on, you can see my pictures were the right size, and I'm slowly progressing. These posts are still kind of short, but as we move up through this month, we see my digital literacy assessment, and we see my improvement plan, and you see me incorporating pictures in the right size now. And this is when like my responses actually began to have a little more depth to them. And then we have teen social media and privacy response, and then this related a lot to teens porn and digital literacy, because it was kind of like the same topic, and it helped me lead into that essay. And then we also had the digital literacy project plan here. And one thing I wanted to point out was this post right here, which is the digital devices and my family post. And the reason I wanted to point this one out is that this is the first post that's actually almost somewhat like an essay. It's not formatted like an essay, clearly, because it has all these pictures and stuff to make it a little more interesting. But this is the first time I've responded in a real in-depth response to the topic. It has the potential to become an essay. I just need to put more detail in it, more more information that evolves on the subject. And this is when you begin to really notice that my responses they're not just answering a question, they're actually going into an analysis. And here I'm even beginning to use video, so I'm learning all these tools. And then here I'm like, I actually didn't even know how to screenshot with my computer until I was forced to do so in this class. And that obviously is helping me out more. I'm learning how to take screenshots and put them onto this blog, and it's like more than just my writing. Just the blog develops so many things. Like, here's another response, just a picture and some more text under it to talk about it, and all these comments that, like, and what I've noticed is that oftentimes uh, it's smarter to not completely finish what you're thinking about, to give yourself some time and read other people's posts, to give yourself, not to like copy or whatever, but to give yourself some ideas and some better thoughts on how to do things, and just like better expand on what you're trying to say but you didn't have the right words, and you just see those other people's posts and you're like, "Oh, that's what I wanted to say." And here's another post. This one was about my K through 12 education and digital literacy, and again, you can see the length of this post. It has the potential to become a full essay, something that I could develop a lot better, and then strengthen it and tune it, and possibly even use it for my portfolio at the end of the semester. Talked about uh, talked about my use of digital tools in class, like this lab quest right here, and just basically having pictures that back up each paragraph, just to make it a little more interesting for the reader. Okay, and then we get into October, and this is when this blog has basically went from these little paragraphs and little chunks of information to like full-on essays. I mean, this right here, just the midterm assessment alone, it's basically an essay already formatted. I'm definitely going in depth on what I want to write about and what I need to improve on, and like what I need to improve on, and like what areas I need to like tune myself into more, just those little things that can make a big difference in the long run. Here also was the day we went to the computer lab for to learn how to do find online citations and use online databases, and that was like a race. And just putting this kind of information on my blog, I would have never been able to even like compose this kind of thing on the first day of class. So this just shows how my blog knowledge developed. And again, here is another post that's already in essay format, and it's like I mentioned, I'm no longer just answering the question. I'm really analyzing what I'm trying to talk about, right? Really trying to get my point across, and not just saying not just to say what I want to say, but how I'm saying it and why I'm saying it, and like backing up my points and taking counter arguments and showing those too, and just really going in depth with my responses. You know. So overall, I just noticed that my blog has gone a lot more from what I initially expected it to be, was just these little responses that are here or there, like what we've done in class, and basically like these little side notes. But now it's turned into basically